So our next one here is our spicy peach vanilla from page 128. This is the 128. So this is the peach vanilla. The twist on this one is we use a high proof rum, and we didn't have it for ours because we talked about that in the very first segment where you had to call an audible because there was high proof rum available when we made the first one. When we went to make this one, we couldn't find it anywhere in Utah. So we ended up going with Everclear, calling the audible, and so we're following the same principles here. So this one, we're taking the cinnamon out and the peaches out, right? And doing a change out.
We're going to take the cinnamon and the peaches out, and then we're going to put 4 ounces of peaches back in and another cinnamon. Whoops, I just dropped my muddle.
All good.
So I'm going to use my same strainer because it's the exact same ingredients in addition just cinnamon here. So I'm not going to contaminate the taste at all.
Now, had you used the high proof rum, you wouldn't be able to do a second addition, right? Because most high proof rum is about 160 proof. So when you add that first 8 ounces of peaches, you would be down in that like 40% alcohol. So it would allow for very few peaches to be added in on a second change out. You'd have to get your calculator out and do some math, where maybe you could add an ounce or two and still be above that minimum 35%. So if you had used a high proof, you would be taking out the peaches. We would be putting the cinnamon, a new cinnamon stick, or the old vanilla beans back in, and we would be at the alcohol content that we want. But since we used, there's your muddle, I cleaned it for you. Since we used Everclear, we're going to go ahead and add the 4 ounces, so half the amount of peaches, just like we did for the other ones, because we can. And we like, whenever we're using fresh fruit, we like maxing out the amount of fresh fruit that we can use, again, so long as we keep that alcohol content above 35% to get a good extract with the vanilla beans and the cinnamon that are also in there. But by the way, this one already.
You can smell the cinnamon, can't you?
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead. It's like wassail. It's holiday season. Like I just got goosebumps when I said wassail. How weird is that? I know, but I'm so excited for that. Now I'm not sad that it's snowing.
In my wassail, but
that's like the smell that I just got with the cinnamon and the peach. Like maybe there's something with like a wassail. I don't know, but
you're onto something here, love.
Well, the goosebumps say I'm onto something. Never doubt the goosebumps.
This makes me think of when I was a little girl. We bottled everything: pears, peaches, cherries. It was a busy summer, and so my mom would always put cinnamon in with the peaches, and it was so wonderful because it was our dessert in the winter. So in the middle of the winter for dessert, we'd get that, pop open that can of peaches and cinnamon, and it was the best treat. And that's what it makes me think of.
Totally. And what is it about like canning and getting back to the kitchen? Like Jill's mom was here last week making the jam, and it was so much fun. Is it just the nostalgia, I think, of making stuff together? And what you're making is delicious. I don't know. There's just sort of this feeling in the kitchen when you're doing things like that, speaks of home and childhood and growing up and different times than we're living in today. I sound old fashioned, don't I?
Well, doing something with someone else is always more fun than doing it alone, right?
Totally. It is fun, but wow, this smells amazing. So again, the original recipe with like a high proof rum where you get like the spice of the rum coupled with the spice of the cinnamon inside the peaches. This is it's just one really additional ingredient from the peach vanilla. We just add cinnamon and then you use rum instead of Everclear in the original recipe. And those changes make an entirely different spin on peach extract, which is really good.
It does, but I do want to tell you, if you can get your hands on that rum, you should, because it adds another level of flavor that is wonderful. And I would do one with Everclear and one with rum, so you can, taste the difference if you can get a hold of the rum.
Totally. And I'm trying to think of the name of it right now. We talked about it in the Plantation. That's what it was. Thank you. So, and it was a 160 proof that we used in our very first one.
The name of the one we used before.
Right. That's because there is Plantation. I can't recall it. We mentioned it in our first segment of the peach vanilla spice. So you have to watch that and see it, but it's wonderful. So if you can make it with the rum, it's even better. But this looks really good and it smells really good.
Oh, look at the color of that.
There we go. We're about 8 ounces. Did it all add up?
Let's see.
Right at it?
Yep, right at 8 ounces.
Perfect.
So this one looks a little darker. We've got the cinnamon in there.
Oh, that's interesting how much darker it is, isn't it? Look at that with the cinnamon.
And
That
this
is so
my
interesting.
ounces of peaches, which I pre-measured.
So again, we're moving pretty quickly. There's probably still some moisture in these peaches that you could get out. When you're at home, just take your time, get the muddle out of the jar, whatever it is, and play some nice music, whatever. Just kind of like take your time, get all that out, because we probably get even more moisture out of if we were spending more time on it.
Yes. I just cracked my 1 stick of Ceylon cinnamon. If you're very sensitive to cinnamon and you don't love cinnamon, you don't have to put more in. But this one, I love all the cinnamon. That's what makes it a little bit different than the peach vanilla.
Exactly.
So, and again, I am going to just put my tape on for changing out on 1017. I've got to take off my last one, and I'm going to put this one on. I'm going to put this in the cupboard and wait another month.
So we'll check in on this one and many others next month.